Hey, Eric.
Oh, hey, Chris.
Congratulations on your 9th place finish in the Kentucky Urban Bourbon Half Marathon.
Sir, please, 10th place
10th
finish.
place? Okay,
Yes.
I thought it was 9th. Excuse me, pardon me.
A 6-foot-tall lady outsprinted me at the end. It was beautiful.
Oh, good. Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I bring that up so I can congratulate myself on coming in 1,065th.
But that's still out of, 2,000 people, right? So you beat half the field.
Yeah, that last couple miles, I was cruising past old ladies and disabled people.
Thrash them.
Yes.
You lock on target, you pass them. It's like
Yes.
playing a racing game where you fuck up for the first lap.
Yeah, it was great. It was wonderful.
What was your time, Chris?
2 hours and 20 minutes.
That's pretty good. That's better than your last time.
Yeah, the first one was 2 hours and 27 minutes.
And for those at home, this race had a metric shit ton of elevation into it.
Indeed. You want to hear some hot sounds? I heard it.
Hell yeah,
I've
dude.
heard it.
Yes.
I've heard it.
Heard those hot sounds right into my mouth, ears.
I'm going to leave it like that. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast covering classic Japanese role-playing games chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome back to Season 7, where we are covering the video game Lunar, the Silver Star, and all of its stories. My name is Chris, and I'm joined, as always, by Eric. Hi.
Listen to my Silver Star story.
This may be your last chance, because this podcast will self-destruct at the end. Playtime's over. Goodbye. We're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live on a secret video feed at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, a homicidal robot from the future who can't wrap her mind around the hexagonal strategy action mech hybrid of Vastille.
Initializing FakeNet.
I do not understand the point of giant robots if they're not being used to annihilate humanity.
Vastille, is that an Xbox One game?
It is a TurboGrafx CD game localized by Working Designs, Chris. Haven't you caught on to the theme yet?
No, I haven't. I don't remember what we did last time. I just know that every time you bring something up in this little intro, I have never heard of it, so good job on being well-read in classic video games.
Thank you. I certainly didn't watch a Working Designs video games YouTube video about every game and learned it that way. I've known about this for years.
Oh, good. Great. So, Eric, we have finally got our asses out of the weird woods. It was a wonderful experience, but I'm ready to proceed onward.
The fog has been lifted. The Godho has been eliminated. We're going to go to Saith.
Yes.
Music. What music plays in Saith, Chris?
Well, before we get there, fun traveling plays. But when we get to Saith, Berg plays, right?
Berg plays. On Sega CD, Mariod plays, despite there being a track called Saith.
Oh, well, that's confusing.
We've entered this bustling port town. The roofs of all the houses are green, and they all seem to have Christian crosses in the windows.
Oh, I love Jesus, too.
Flowers are in pots outside out of almost every house. Boxes and crates are stacked high as far as the eye can see. Mm-hmm. The people of Saith are not dressed like hilljack farmers. They're calling Saith the Calm of Lunar. That's calm with a K.
Oh, good. Cool. They've got lots of little boats sitting around on the side of the house,
It's a port town, shipping town. On PSP, it looks like Berg with pallet-swapped houses, and it's composed of 2 tiny single screens.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Want to talk to some NPCs in this bustling port town?
Yeah, the first guy I want to talk to is the blue-hair radical guy.
Uh-huh.
He greets us and asks if we journeyed from Berg. He's relieved to hear that the fog has lifted from the woods. He welcomes us to stay as long as we need.
How long do you think the fog's been a problem?
I think it's a seasonal problem.
Mm-hmm.
They can't travel through there in the spring.
The spring, yeah.
Yeah.
Which there's still snow in Berg, so we don't know if that's a year-round snow or not.
But remember, the snow just melted because that's how we could get to the White Dragon Cave, so it must be spring.
Yeah, okay. The thaw is coming.
So anyway.
On Sega CD, though, rather than woods fog, he's happy the bridge is fixed.
Oh, yeah, we had a bridge problem instead of a fog problem.
He says something else, though, right?
Yeah, Null notes that the whole town reeks of fish. Null is happy to be in fish heaven. Null likes fish.
Chris, what does our whole town reek of?
It depends on what part of town you're
We're
in.
downtown.
Downtown?
Downtown.
Downtown reeks of 2 different things. Processed meat, like recently slaughtered pigs.
That's correct. Not a good smell.
And the other smell is like the crisp air coming off of a river.
Yeah.
Except for like there's a little bit of like brown in there.
Yes, some
like,
pollution.
Some garbage.
Some evaporated water vapor pollution coming off the Ohio River.
Yes, crisp shit water.
Mm-hmm. A potent melange.
Luna calls Null our little guardian angel for some reason.
I mean, that's kind of true if you think about the future of Null.
Yeah. This begins the bit of where Null is always making comments about fish. Before this, I didn't know that Null loved fish so goddamn much, but now Null is going to be talking about fish like every 2 or 3 conversations that we have.
Null's primary motivational operational interests are hungry and horny.
Yeah, never explicitly horny though, but always explicitly. Okay.
Null develops as a character, not at all really until he does, I guess.
The text is being read.
Yeah.
We will read the text and let you know.
Bald guy, yellow and purple clothes, center of town. You talk to that guy?
Baldy near the Althena statue? Yeah, go ahead.
He notices we're young. He can't believe we want to go all the way to Maribia. He tells us the ship that goes there is not sailing right now.
Oh, shit.
Ramus takes this news pretty hard. He says no ship, no Maribia, no shining path of glory, no cash. So it's funny. The ship has a different name on PSP. The guy refers to it as the Orca.
The Orca.
The Orca.
I like that better than the Hispaniola.
Yeah, they'll call it the Hispaniola later in our game. A more optimistic Luna wants to talk to somebody at the docks and find out what's wrong. And the guy just says, I have to get to Maribia. It's the only place where I can buy my horsehair toupees.
Oh, great, a bald joke.
In the Sega CD version, this guy actually pops back up in Maribia. He thinks he'll only get someone named Jessica to notice him if he gets rid of his cheap toupee and get a hair transplant.
Oh, okay. Hair transplant jokes. Hair transplants are real. You know that, right?
Well, as a bald guy, yeah, I looked into it at one point. It's not worth it. Usually you look fucked up.
Yeah, usually you look fucked up unless you...
But if you get one that's good and you're happy with it, totally fine.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Not for me. Speaking of hair that's not for me, you get this pink-haired child.
Oh, yeah, the pink hair girl. She says, hey, are you really going to become a Dragon Master? Gosh, if you become like Dyne, I'll be your bride. Dragon Masters are so hot.
Every time something like this happens, Luna gets pissed off.
Yes, that's Luna's only character development for the first portion of the game. Oh yes, Alex, she'd make a charming, brainless bride. Speak with her again, she says, gosh, Alex, you have to become Dragon Master. I want to marry one so bad. Luna says, I'm sure there are a million girls who think like this. Yeah, they should have put child bride, because I think it was a girl.
It looked like a little girl, but sometimes there's small children that speak like adults, and I'm not sure if that's like a localization spreadsheet issue, or if, 9 is the age of maturity in this world.
Yeah, or, old Victor just threw it in here.
Old Vic
threw it in here, right here.
Designs is me.
Little boy, blonde hair, pink outfit, southwest end of town. He says, hey, a while ago, some weird guy asked me if I knew a lady who's a good singer. Null wonders if he was looking for Luna. He asks if we're looking for a good singer, too. And this, to me, was where I realized that some of the shit where everybody in an RPG already knows who we are despite us having no reputation, the world exists for us as the player.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
I'll push back on that a little bit because I think people do travel to the Goddess Festival.
Yeah.
So there probably is a at least some sort of news or rumor that there is a good singer in Berg.
Okay.
So
Berg, the home of one good singer.
Yes.
It just makes me think that at any moment, like, the entire town could stop what they're doing and everybody would just stare at us and, like, reset in a Westworldian context.
Yes. I don't know what the Westworldian means, but the Truman Show.
Yeah, okay. Truman Show works on that. I had to think about it, but sure.
All right. Who else we speaking with?
Brown hair guy with a green cape hanging outside the bar. He says, I'd stay out of here if I were you. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Plus the beer is watered down. Chris, do you like Star Wars?
I love Star Wars.
What is a wretched hive of scum and villainy?
It's the bar in Mos Eisley.
Cantina, please.
Cantina, excuse me. I think it's actually all of Mos Eisley is a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
This information wants to make Null go inside even more, and Luna wonders if this man is trying to help us. He says, watch out for Brett. He's the best gambler I've ever seen.
Oh.
And of course, we mentioned this in like episode 1 or 2, but on PSP, in Silver Star Harmony, Brett's name has been changed to Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde is a much more scoundrel-esque name.
Absolute scoundrel. Brett is like your best friend in 4th grade. I say that because my best friend in 4th grade was named Brett.
Cool.
Who moved to California.
Oh, what's up, Brett? Hope you're listening.
That'd be weird, right?
Yeah.
Weird moment for Brett. Anyway, old man, pink cotton candy hair, right side of screen. He's got a cane. He tells us Saith and Berg are sister cities, although Berg is more isolated because of the mountainous terrain.
Mm-hmm.
He says the same thing on Sega CD. Null replies, sister cities, huh? Don't relatives give each other food? Say, for example, fish.
Oh, great fish joke, Null.
Luna is convinced Null has a stomach where his brain should be, and I ask you, Chris, what do you have where your brain should be?
What do I have where my brain should be? I have...
Gundam figures? Colored pencils?
No, just like...
Sweet tarts?
Just like
Fish eyes?
Like a really dense fog.
Oh, okay. Just kind of making your way through them. Like you move your hands over and over like it's a dream, but the fog is not clear.
Yeah, I think the inside of my skull looks like somebody's just vaping in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
All the time.
All right.
Yeah,
that's
like
nice.
The smoke dissipates pretty quickly.
Yeah, where does it come out? Your eyes or ears?
It comes out of my nose, actually.
Okay, that's cool.
And the
you
six
look cool
hole,
when you do that.
And the 6 holes on top of my head.
That's right. All 6 holes. Only 2 are in the ears.
If we speak with him again, he says that we're all his brothers and sisters because we're from Berg.
Yeah.
Null thinks that maybe grandchildren is a more apt descriptor.
Ramus
tells Null that he doesn't mean it literally. Ya feather noggin.
Have you ever heard feather noggin in your life before this?
I've heard like bird brain.
Oh, yeah, bird brain for sure. But feather noggin seems like we can't say bird brain again. Fucking say feather noggin.
Yeah. I'm surprised that it's not...
Well, let's get some more. Let's improv some more. By loves improvising random things. Feather noggin, poultry, cabeza, chicken wuss.
Yeah, chicken wuss is a pretty good one. Avian asshole.
Yeah. Okay, that wraps up the improv session.
I got the alliteration in there too.
Yeah, avian asshole. That's good. You be at Lunar on the brain. Chris is going to speak. In episode 26, Chris will speak only in alliteration if this podcast gets that far.
Okay.
Lady top right, bow in her hair.
Boner hair?
A bow in her hair, not a boner hair. You're all dressed up for adventure, big guy. Will you take me with you? We get a choice. Sure thing, babe. Or, I don't think so. I tell her sure thing. Who gets pissed off?
Oh, it's Luna, of course.
Alex, I'm surprised at you. Is this how you intend to behave on our adventure? Don't even talk to me and don't even think about bringing her along. Talk to her again. I tell her no, and Luna responds, so, Alex, you had to think about the answer? What was going through your mind? I thought so. Just don't even look at me right now.
Damn.
There is no winning in this video game.
Can't win.
The exchange is identical on Sega CD. How about the guy in the Waldo shirt and the sailor hat in the South Dock?
Sailor Boy at the docks heard that Brett the Gambler hasn't been beaten for over 20 years. The captain said he'd do it, but he put the sea chart up as booty.
Hell yeah, booty.
Brett cleaned the poor fool out, according to this guy. My guy is sure that Brett is cheating, but no one has been able to catch him. So,
And if he can't be caught, it can't be proven.
Did you speak with the well?
No, I didn't. I don't talk to inanimate objects. That's against my religion.
Well, I spoke with the well, and
Ramus
says that his wish is that the Magic Guild would discover a spell to turn water into chocolate.
That's nice.
So Ramus
said
that about himself, so that's not a fat phobic
No,
joke.
you can't.
Okay.
Well, you can hate yourself, but I'm not going to allow that.
Okay.
Quick
Is the well causing him to think that? Is the well being fat phobic?
No, you can't assign motive to objects that are not sentient.
Okay. Null then says that his wish is that he would like to find out where he came from, and he has a little sad sprite on there.
Oh, wow. That's a rare moment of sincerity from
Yeah, Null gets somber for just a moment.
Shit, Chris. They said Brett hasn't been beaten for 20 years. Is this our first confirmed thing that happened before 15 years ago? Is Brett's then 5-year undefeated streak?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we know that Dragon Master Dine and Master Mel were out there adventuring and whatnot, but we don't have any details.
Yeah.
This is a detail, though.
Yeah, Brett's been in on the grift for 20 years.
Yeah, he's...
presumably in the same bar.
I want to talk to the green hair guy at the top of town.
Okay.
He says that there's a young stranger about your age staying here in Saith. He claims to be the VIP of the Magic Guild. Sounds fishy to me. Why would a VIP come to Saith? A truly elite magician wouldn't have any business in Saith. Then I spoke with a chicken. Speak with any chickens here?
No, I assumed all chickens were cursed with the same dialogue from Berg.
Oh, no, this one's, I think, is different, so please let me know if it's not. Null says, what sad little creatures. Even though they have wings, they can't fly. Ramus says that it's almost as weird as a talking cat.
I think Ramus may have said that.
Did I say Ramus?
You did.
I wrote Ramus. I said Ramus. This is going to happen the whole time. Sorry if we don't catch it. Null takes exception to this and sarcastically says, ha ha, you're hilarious, Ramus. I spoke with the chicken again. Null says, let's not stand too close to it, Alex. People might think that we're chicken filchers.
Filcher?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's a chicken filcher? Is that somebody who steals chickens?
Isn't filching like a sex... Or is that felching?
Filchers.
Oh, that's pretty close to felching. I don't...
FakeNet, can you help us out here?
Initializing FakeNet.
Filch means to pilfer or steal something, especially a thing of small value, in a casual way. Felching is too foul of a word to define on this family podcast.
Chicken fuckers.
Well, I don't know that felching is explicitly about fucking. You can... If you have a straw, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah, I went into buildings next, Eric. We're going into some buildings.
Yeah, pick one.
Upper left house.
Of course, that's what I started with.
Yes, me too. There's a cat in here. Null says that he wants to be a cat in his next life, so he has an excuse for being moody. Ramus wonders when Null has ever needed an excuse for this. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha, moody cat.
Moody cat.
Cat's a bitch.
Yes. Speak again, the cat meows. Null asks for the cat to leave him alone. Ramus says that all cats here seem to be female, and they seem to like you, Null. Null replies, bad kitty. Null pauses. Null's expression changes and says, oh, I don't get it. Do you get it?
No, I think Null's only attracted to humans.
Or is Null realizing that Null is like a stud?
Maybe.
Like, oh, these cats are attracted to me. I must have...
That would be dramatic irony if he was horny all the time and couldn't pick up signals from other animals.
Yeah.
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 I think you're right. Talked to the first person in here and tells me that the biggest city on the mainland is Meribia, founded by Master Mel, one of the 4 heroes.
So in one of the lists of bullshit working designs got wrong, Mel did not found Meribia. He is just the governor of Meribia.
Okay.
So they kind of added that.
I kind of like the idea of a story with legendary heroes who save the world and then become like administrators.
Yeah.
Like municipal administrators, and like how
you retire from being a hero. What's next?
How did they give the victors then become the leaders, and it would be interesting to have a story be told where there are like negative repercussions for like appointing the 4 heroes as your landlords.
As that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It is, because the other 2 are the heads of magic schools in Vane, right? Like head faculty. It's like what they put fucking Ken Starr in charge of Baylor or something. Like, are there any other weird analogies of people?
They put Ken Starr in.
They fucking put Ken Starr in front of it. It's like, what is that guy doing? It's like, are they going to make Sean Kemp in charge of like Minnesota 7-Elevens? I don't know.
I would be curious to find out if Dine ever was a politician of some sort.
No, I mean, I think Dine died almost immediately after the shit was fixed.
Did he fake his death so he wouldn't have to go into politics?
No, he's dead. He didn't fake anything.
How do you know?
Because we've been to his grave, Chris. Why would they tell me why would a JRPG tell me my childhood hero is dead if he's secretly alive under a separate identity?
Excellent point.
That sounds outrageous.
Very excellent point.
Talk to the other lady in here.
Yep.
Blue hair, cane.
Mm-hmm. She tells me to come a little closer so she can have a good look.
Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're adventurers. This is the first time I've seen adventurers in forever. You remind me of the young Dragon Master Dine. Dine became one of the 4 heroes after setting out on an adventure. On his way to Meribia long ago, Dine met up with Hell Mel, who is then one of the most feared pirates on the high seas. After fighting for 7 days, the 2 men were so worn out they declared a draw. Hell Mel settled down to a quiet life in Meribia, while Dine... I'm getting old, and so is the story. You know it.
No one can say exactly what happened to Dine.
Yeah, why is no one telling me this?
It's supposed to be vague, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. Speak again. She says that something about Dine setting out from Saith. Ramus wonders if he was going to sell a dragon diamond too.
And I think we wanted the same thing if Dine also, like if the purpose of the dragon diamond is to fund the adventure.
Yeah.
Does it make the world feel smaller to you that the only myths and legend anyone knows or talks about is the 4 heroes? Like there was nothing before that?
That is a good point. There's no one talks about people talk about the 4 heroes and how they saved the world, but they really have given us no context on why the world needed to be saved.
Yeah.
Have they?
I don't think so at all.
Yeah,
Not to us anyway.
They fought in the fucked zone at the beginning of the PSP game. That's all we know about, right?
Yeah, it'd be like if the most outrageous thing that ever happened was the Malice at the Palace. People just talk about that forever rather than any other subsequent NBA basketball developments.
It's true. And I think maybe the marketing too, or maybe it was in the manual, it like begs you to please talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, please, we wrote all this shit. I want you to read it. Please
that is a
do
reflection of we have written so much dialogue.
Yes.
Please find it. Oh my God, I worked so hard.
But it seems like this game was designed to make sure you get the basics of the story without having to talk to everybody.
For sure, because not everybody's going to do that. They want to tell, like, at least 20% of all villagers will tell you about the 4 heroes.
And that makes it feel more like a real world than it does when we're doing this shit, talking to everybody and everybody saying the same shit. Because there's so many NPCs that don't necessarily say the same thing, but they have the same thing to say, if you catch my drift.
Speaking of having things to say, this guy on Sega CD will tell us about the necessity of lighthouses with sea navigation. This will make sense later because the Sega CD has a mandatory lighthouse quest.
Oh, cool. And also it's interesting too that like everyone here is talking about the 4 heroes, but no one is going to tell us what happened to Dine.
I think it's just one of those things that obviously the game's trying to be vague, but I think it's just so well known and like so fucked that nobody talks about it.
Like how we don't talk about what happened on 9/11, we just say 9/11.
Or we don't happen at the Malice at the Palace when Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, entered the crowd and punched out a man.
Yeah, want to go to New House?
Yeah, how about the house with yellow and purple flowers out front, top center?
Upper middle.
It's got a big purple rug in there, red curtains.
Yeah, beastmen live here.
This is our first beastman encounter.
Yes. Why do they carry spears? in their house.
Because they're beastmen. They need to be, it's like the having my Glock at all times, man. I got to be fucking strapped in here. The fucking Second Amendment says I can have this.
The beastmen must be strapped.
I have to take my shotgun to this Kroger.
It's cultural.
Anyway, that guy tells us we should pay a visit to Hell Mel. He's one of the 4 heroes. He's idolized and considered a hero by everyone who knows him. Ramus tells us that Mel is the most powerful person in the city. Quick question. Has anybody in our party ever left Berg?
No.
It's our first time out.
No, and not much... I don't know, because like people here have talked about traveling to Berg for the festival, I think. But no one...
No one from Berg leaves?
Yeah.
Like Alex's dad never took him on a fucking like weekend vacation to Saith?
No, I mean...
Never went to the weird woods?
All he had was that knife.
Yeah, that's a good point. Blue hair walking around the fireplace. Well, this Maribia is governed by Mel de Alkirk. That's our first last name drop.
Mm-hmm.
A fellow beastman. He's our hero. I'd gnaw my foot off to meet him. Luna compares Mel's popularity in Saith to Dines in Berg.
Oh, so every city has like this...
patron hero.
Yes, patron hero, thank you. Very good. Patron saint of ho-ho-hoing.
That's right. You ever go upstairs in this house?
Yeah.
There's a blonde lady up there.
Mm-hmm.
Tells us beastmen and humans lived together in relative harmony for years, but it wasn't always this way. Null, a beast who is not a man, had never thought about that before. They say, you don't have any prejudice against beastmen, do you? Null replies, of course not, only against cats and dogs.
Ooh. Yeah, Ramus calls Null in this conversation, calls Null the exception to this. Like, that's a weird thing to say because I do not perceive Null to be a beastman.
No, but he is a beast who talks.
Okay, close. I mean, that's...
Also, is this our first hint of lore before Un-4 Heroes related? There's some kind of beastman
there was
war?
Yes, there was a race war.
Yeah. Is this where like the Vile Tribe came from? Because I can see beastmen being labeled as the Vile Tribe as a pejorative.
That's a good read.
Are these the good ones?
That could be true. Also, the 2 things that we know that happened prior to 15 years ago were Brett was on a gambling streak.
Yep, 5 years at least at that point.
There was a race war.
Yeah.
Those 2 things.
But the beastmen are still untrustworthy of the humans and carry around their spears.
In their own houses.
And they don't cut their horns off like Kamari.
That's a Final Fantasy
Did
reference.
Kamari cut his horn off or was he born with no horn?
I don't remember.
Fake Ned.
Initializing fake net.
Kamari was a victim of bullying and his sacred horn was snapped off.
There was a big reveal the other day in the new Dragon Ball show. Mr. Popo has horns.
Is he the racist one?
Yep.
Okay. That's good.
He has horns. So it's not racist anymore.
Uh-huh. You know what's upstairs in this house?
A beastman?
A broom and a dustpan.
Oh, good.
Far right house?
Upper East house.
Uh-huh.
Null speaks with the dog. Null hates dogs because all they do is bark at him. Ramus brings a dig and says, well, of course they do. Dogs and cats don't get along with each other. Null says, oh, you're pushing it. You get it? Null's a cat.
Yeah, push it. Salt and pepper. I get it.
Speak with the dog again. Because you can't just speak with a dog once.
No.
Null wonders why dogs hate him so much. Ramus says that everyone hates you, Null. Dogs just aren't afraid to tell you. Null then tells Ramus that he is cruising for a bruising.
Oh, wow. Another 90s saying when you want to beat the shit out of your kids.
Yeah, did your mom ever tell you that you were cruising for a bruising?
Absolutely, dude.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I got bruised.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's my fault for cruising. Like, I knew what I was doing.
Yeah, I don't cruise.
I wasn't supposed to eat macaroni in the living room, but I did anyway. And sure enough, I dropped that cheesy shit all over the new carpet.
You do not cruise.
No. Never cruise.
Lady in here says, my son keeps asking me to move across the sea to Maribia. What do you think?
Gotta go to the big city, Chris.
Ramus sounds off in the comments and says he thinks it's a great idea. There's nothing for kids to do out here in the boonies.
Chris, what kind of stimulation do children require? If your kids lived in the boonies, what would they do all day?
The answer to the question is, what kind of stimulation do children require is any.
Any stimulation.
Any.
So if you give them big sticks and say, go kill something, they'll come back with a squirrel.
Yeah, even though my kids are like, their brains are totally rotted because they have YouTube and Fortnite and shit.
Right, yes, Mr. Beast.
They haven't played Fortnite or watched Mr. Beast.
Do they talk like YouTubers yet?
No, and actually they were playing with this kid the other day on the playground, just some random kid, and Griffin told me afterward, he goes, that kid is way too brain rot.
That's good.
Because he said, all he does is say skibbity and all the fucking
just
things.
A meme deployment device.
Yes.
The fact that, 9-year-old, contextually, appropriately applied brain rot.
Well, I think brain rot is also one of the brain rot terms.
Oh, yeah.
But
damn it.
He did point out that kid was kind of fucked up because he was like saying that stuff just way too much.
Speaks without punctuation.
And that's the kind of fucked thing about all this child language stuff is it's also monolithic because of YouTube and the internet, and there's not like regional dialects of this.
Yeah.
It's just all it all is what it is. Children just require any kind of stimulation, and even though my children are exposed and do have like these infinite options of games and stuff, if you just give them a ball, they will find something to do with it.
Okay, so if I give them a copy of Ooga Booga for Dreamcast, they'll get into it. And a Dreamcast.
They might use it as a frisbee.
Okay, they'll do something with it. That answers the question.
They'll do something
Thank you.
with it, yes.
We'll play 4-player Ooga Booga next time.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
I'm sure there's some nice things about Maribia. I like Saith. I was born here. I grew up here. I don't want to leave. But the kid with blonde hair upstairs also wants to go to Maribia, but Mom says it's too dangerous. She doesn't know anything. Luna tells the child, your mom doesn't want you going because she's worried about you, and you shouldn't speak of the woman that brought you into this world like that. The kid tells Luna he won't do it again. Instead, he will just mumble to himself.
Good.
Did you ever get advisement from parental figures about not going downtown or into the city because it's too dangerous? Such as Maribia here is being placed as too dangerous by these yokels.
Yeah, I remember like your mom pulls off the interstate and goes downtown and locks the doors immediately. That kind of shit.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to go to the Children's Museum. Lock the fucking doors. Middle right house.
Middle East house, yeah.
Got a big red rug.
Yeah.
On the back wall, there's a portrait of a lady in a green shirt with black hair.
Oh.
It's got a pink background. This is weird. There are no other portraits in this game thus far.
Oh.
Nobody in either room upstairs, okay. Old man, hands behind his back, green coat.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think he says?
He says, E-O air, A-O is ear, O-O-E-I-E.
Nall believes this to be a strange language. He has never heard anything like it before, but Ramus has the solution.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have his goddamn dentures in.
That's right.
That's not a very funny joke, Ramus.
Dentures were hilarious in the 90s because of all the commercials on children's programming that for the glue you apply to your mouth to get those things in there.
I have no memory of this.
Interesting. Well, Chris wasn't as brain rotted as I was.
Yes.
Girl with brown hair on the left.
Yeah, she says, what a fascinating creature you are. I'm just about done with dinner. Why don't you eat with us? Nall suddenly believes in love at first sight. Luna tells Nall to take note of how dirty his paws are. Nall says, well, no. But darn it, there goes my appetite. Thanks, Luna. It didn't really flow very well. I don't really understand what they're getting at here. Nall's paws are dirty, so he can't eat, so now he's not hungry?
Yeah, he doesn't want to wash his hands.
When you wash your hands, do you lose your appetite?
Oh, I don't wash my hands.
So you're always hungry?
That's right.
All right, good. Okay.
About well, I said left last time. It's also on the left for me. The person that finally found a job in Maribia.
Yeah.
Can't wait to move. Parents are driving her crazy. Mm-hmm. She asks if we know when the ship departs, seemingly unaware that she lives in this town and we just got here 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
In the PSP version of this game, this lady is standing outside the boathouse. She's not inside of a house. Also, there is quite a bit of continuity with this NPC. It's unfortunate what she has to wear and who she ends up working for in Maribia. Pay attention, Chris.
I will.
Initializing fakenet.
Hi. Rather than play the Berg theme in the background for the 30th time, we're going to play Pastoral Town music from games we have covered in the past.
Go to the weapon shop.
I did.
Did you buy anything?
Yeah, I bought a longsword because it says in the description, length does matter.
That's
does,
right.
All caps.
Mm-hmm. Can be frightening for some people.
Yes, also bought a small bow for archers on a budget. Bought some leather clothes, comfy yet kinky. Mm-hmm. And bought some leather armor, reinforced rawhide.
Do you own any leather clothes, Chris?
No.
Me neither.
I don't think so.
I have belts. I think they're imitation leather.
Yeah, I think they're like some sort of composite. So
door next to the weapon shop, same building. Got a boy in there. He's got blue hair.
Yeah, I missed this one. Go ahead.
He says, wow, what the heck is that weird thing behind you? Nall can't believe this shit. Ramus comments, the child is wise beyond his years. The kid will then offer a ball of toe cheese to Nall to eat.
Toe cheese.
I think that means toe jam, but not Earl.
Toe jam.
Big Earl. Upstairs is little girl. Mom and dad are always away, so I have to stay here and take care of my little brother. Ramus compliments the child, telling her she's a mature little girl. She reminds me of you, Luna. Luna replies, thank you, Ramus, but flattery won't get you anywhere. Is Ramus hitting on Luna? What's going on there?
I don't think Ramus is hitting on Luna, but Ramus is always an asshole to Luna. And
yeah.
Maybe he's trying to,
Opposite of a smooth operator?
Yeah.
I can't wait for my parents to come back. I'm about ready to strangle my little brother. Chris is someone with a little brother. I know that feeling. Mm-hmm. Bottom left, greenhouse, purple flower outside.
Yeah, there's a guy in here.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Gray hair, red and purple clothes.
He says, everyone here says Maribia is a wonderful place to live, but that's simply ridiculous. More and more people crowd into that filthy city every day, and crime is skyrocketing.
Oh, shit.
Nall delivers perhaps the first Nall banger in this game. Why do I have the feeling that he doesn't have these statistics to back up his theory?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I would ask you if we want to count Nall bangers, but I don't think Nall's going to have very many bangers.
He's got some zingers. I don't know about bangers.
Zingers? Yeah, maybe zingers is better. He tells us to stay in Saith. Ramus says this grumpy old man is more stubborn than his own father.
Is crime always skyrocketing in election season, Chris?
Crime is always skyrocketing, even when the FBI statistics prove otherwise. They are altered by the deep state in order to elect the commies.
Oh yeah, you're gonna believe the FBI, narc? That's what you're gonna do, narc?
Yeah, I love the cops.
You narc?
Yeah, I love the police.
Lady with purple. No, what? Continue, please.
Job security for the police. They can go stop more crime. Go stop crime, guys.
I've been playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and the first cop you meet gets brutally murdered, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Lady with purple bunned hair. The shops in Maribia have items for sale, the likes of which I've never seen, and all of them are quite exorbitantly priced. Ramus replies, there's no doubt in my mind now, we're going to make a fortune off this diamond. It's also a house with a chest upstairs that is classically locked. On Sega CD, this lady talks about how well Maribia does at selling jewels, that they have special jewelers there just for rich people.
Oh, is that like a fancy watch shop?
I think any watch now, aside from the Casios you can buy at Target, are fancy now.
No, I'm talking about like if you need like if you're rich and you need a status symbol watch.
Oh, like a Rolex.
Yeah, like a $10,000 Rolex, or I'm sure they're even more than that. But yeah.
Figna, what's the average price for a Rolex?
Initializing FakeNet.
Rolex watches come with a wide price range, starting at $5,500 and soaring up to $75,000. The average price is between $7,000 and $12,000.
Hell yeah.
It's probably like $10,000 to $12,000.
I have no, it could be $1,000 or $2 million. I have no fucking.
It's definitely over 10.
Bottom left house, Sega CD. There's a house that's not in the PS1 version. The guy inside talks about how Dine and Mel fought for 7 days, eventually declaring a draw, and then became friends.
Yeah, there was somebody else in the PS1 version that
They expanded upon that.
that said that, which made me. I forgot to ask you, how do you fight for 7 days? Is that like, do they take breaks?
No, what you're doing is, since Mel's a pirate, right?
They're like just launching fucking
Yeah, it's
bombs
like
at each
fucking Sid Meier's Pirates, where you're just going in circles, volleying cannons and shit like that, and missing 100,000 times in a row.
other. Is that how Sid Meier's Pirates works?
It's in my memory, yeah. I haven't played the NES version in, I don't know, let's say 30 years, but that's what it seemed like back then.
Cool.
Fucking Skull and Bones, I don't know.
Didn't know you like tactics games, Eric.
It's not a tactics game. You can control a character.
What am I thinking of?
Other tactics games where you don't control characters.
I'm thinking of Sid Meier's Colonization.
Fuck that. I don't play that game. I play Pirates.
You don't colonize?
Absolutely not. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
It's not a fantasy for me, Chris. You can do whatever kind of skull measuring colonization you're into, but leave me out of it. You want to go to the bar?
Yeah, I want to go to the bar. I mean, not in real life, but yeah, there's lots of guys in here. First guy says that his store went bankrupt, his wallet was stolen. Then he says he's the unluckiest man in all of Saith. Then he hicks.
Uh-oh.
He's a drunk guy?
I think this guy might be drunk, Chris.
Oh, he's drunk.
I'm very drunk indeed.
Oh, God. That'll be our first drunk guy.
Do you recognize what those songs or those samples are sampled from?
No, the only person that I recognize here is me.
Okay, yeah. Part of that is from our alcohol sound effect we played a lot in the Xenogears and Chrono Cross season.
Yes, back when alcohol used to be consumed on this podcast.
Yeah, those dark days.
We wanted to keep doing this, so we stopped doing that.
Pick one.
But
for sustainability.
Drink or podcast. Take your fucking pick.
I believe that is John Candy from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
I think it's Audrey Hepburn from Breakfast at Tiffany's. I went through 500 movie quotes where somebody said the word drunk, and that's what I found.
That's incredible.
Thanks. Sailor, one table up. He says, I hick loth all money belch earned in my lath fart voyage.
I love fart voyages.
Chris, have you ever hit the hiccup, burp, fart trifecta?
Absolutely. I mean, who hasn't, right?
Yeah, when you inhale for the hiccup and then burp a burp out of it and then fart because of the pressure of the burp.
Yeah.
I think to make the trifecta, that all has to be in a 3-second window.
It's happened. What about you?
I don't think so. I'm not a disgusting slob.
Oh, okay. This is our second drunk guy, right?
He says, I'm going to drink until I'm sick, then heave all over Brett. This man is drunk.
Yes.
Oh, he's drunk.
I'm very drunk indeed.
Oh, God. Number 2.
Like the noise I make on the end of that, it's like my lips are Simpsons flapping, like whenever Homer burps and like the cartoon has like a wave to his lips.
Yeah, it's pleasant.
Fuck me, bartender.
Yeah, bartender's like, what the hell? Hey, what are you kids doing in here? My first new customer's coming in hours and they're underage. I need something to bring in new patrons. Anything. I love how they finally acknowledged the underageness of our cast here.
Yes. Adventuring has any age, but you have to be 21 years old to drink in Lunar.
Yeah, so you also, it doesn't matter that we can make weird sexual jokes about you in the strategy guide, too.
Absolutely not.
Speak again, he says, do you think business would pick up if I hired a singer from Berg? Null says, nah. Luna says, quiet you.
Yeah, she wants to make some money, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, let the girl work. I mean, shit.
Finally, we talked to Brett.
Brett. Howdy, childrens. He didn't say childrens, but I did.
No, that's a new word.
My name's Brett. I reckon I'm the best there is when it comes to gambling. I don't care if I'm playing a man, woman, or child. As long as they have the money, I'll take it.
It's the exact same line on PSP, but he's Clyde.
Clyde.
That's all for Brett for now, but we're going to be gambling with Brett just a little bit later.
Yeah, did you speak with the barrel in the corner?
No, I don't talk to inanimate objects. Never ask me that question.
Okay, sorry. If you speak with it, it says, or Null says, hey, this jug has some ale inside of it. Hick. Luna says, Null, you're getting drunk just smelling that stuff? So, that, I mean, is Null a drunk guy now? Did Null just get drunk?
I think Null has been around drunk people and is not drunk himself. He's just getting high off of fumes.
Okay, so we can't count Null. He's also not a guy.
No, he's not.
He's a thing. Okay.
Went to the boathouse next.
Yeah, the dock building. Brown hair lady.
Wonders why no ships left from Maribia today. Ramus agrees, I can't wait to get out of this awful town. Ramus trashing this town is very funny, but why? Like, is he just sick of this shit? Get me out of this awful town. I can't sell a diamond here. This is like the place to go and the way to get there.
He's like the guy who's like, I'm too good for this fucking small town. I'm going to the big city and I'm going to sell Rolexes.
I'm not going to this rest stop that only has vending machines and a Subway sandwich machine.
Yeah.
I need to go to a real place like Arby's.
Yeah, like Zaxby's.
Yeah.
They have a Mr. Beast meal there, I think.
Is Zaxby's chicken?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like chicken and fries. It's like Cane's, but not as good.
I've been to Cane's once. I found it unsatisfactory.
Oh, their sauce is good. Cane's sauce is legit.
I don't worship Satan, Chris. Old man, green backpack, red hat. Also wants to know what's going on with the lack of ship to Maribia. I have to return there to close a big business deal, and if I miss it, I lose big bucks.
Yeah.
Ramus the capitalist agrees. I feel your pain, sir. Time is money. Later, he says if he blows this deal, he'll only be the third richest man to Maribia, and that will not do.
Shit. Dockmaster guy at the counter says that boarding the ship is completely out of the question. No, the ship is fine. It's kind of a long and embarrassing story. Talk to the captain in the back room for all the sordid details. And then
You talk to him again?
No.
If you see the captain, would you tell him he's a moron? Thanks.
That's pretty good. How did I miss that?
On PSP, this is the only one whose lines are completely different. Mm-hmm. He says, the captain is a fine sailor, but the worst poker player in history. The man's eyes twinkle with delight every time he gets 2 cards with pretty pictures on them. Now I have a port full of angry passengers, drunken sailors, and rotting cargo. Lovely.
Wow.
So this boathouse is quite a bit different on Sega CD. Do you want to hear about a brand new suite of NPCs?
Oh, yeah.
Viking hat guy.
Oh, God.
He hates someone he's calling the Sea Hag. He calls her a tough old something. She really burns him. I offered that unforgiving bag of leather 200 silver pieces for the sea chart, but she wouldn't give me the time of day. She just gagged and told me to get out. Can you imagine that? There's a guy against the wall. He's heard old tales of an old hag that lives north of here, but she has a sea chart for all the oceans of the world. But she's as stubborn as she is ugly. You won't get the chart for nothing. She's a shrewd negotiator. Be sure you go up there with something to trade. There's also a drunk guy near the boatmaster counter. The guy hiccups and talks about how much he's annoyed by someone named Nash.
Ooh, I've heard of that motherfucker.
You know why he's annoyed by Nash?
Because he's an asshole?
Because Nash is here.
Oh, really? Wow.
It plays the character intro music, then flashes out to a bitmap cutscene. Nash is touching his hair as he salutes. Cower before me, peasants. I'm Nash, the magician. Music. Myriad resumes, and Nash tells us he's a 3rd rank at the Magic Guild in vain. Quote, I'm also an apprentice to the awesomely powerful sage Galleon. I have become the greatest magician in my age group. No one can use magic as well as me.
Cool.
Null observes that Nash has mastered the art of blowing hot air. Nash thinks it's interesting we're going to Maribia. He also has a staff of flowing water that is of no use. He says, maybe someone will give us an ocean chart in exchange for it. So the guys, so what do you say? Sound like a plan? Also, they spelled words wrong in the Sega CD version, like they just fucking typos.
Good.
A lot of Silver Star Story Complete is still wrote and perfunctory by modern standards, but it's clear what a leap it was over the original. Characters in the original Silver Star are solutions to problems first and characters second. Anyway, we get a choice, and I say let's do it, and Nash tells us we made the right decision. Nash joins the quest, and we receive the water cane.
Oh. Okay, good.
On Sega CD, you know what they call the boatmaster? That's right, Chris. He's the owner of the boats.
Oh, okay.
He refuses to let a bunch of kids on his boats. I love how the community of Berg was fine with 4 and 9-year-olds going off on an adventure, but actual townsfolk are like, what the hell? No, you're not doing that.
What is going on? It's just it's a cultural difference.
That's right. These kids aren't ready for a different culture. He says, go home. Your parents are probably worried. But you know what Alex has on him?
His permission slip from
He's
Dad?
got his dad's letter, but the boatman says he's too busy to read it. Null begs him to take a look, and finally he agrees. He says, you're the son of Noah. Boy, that name brings back a few memories. Your father, Master Dine, and I went on an adventure together long ago. There was a 3rd man, Chris. Your father took good care of me, so now the least I can do is honor his wish to take you to Maribia. Unfortunately, we can't sail. The captain screwed up. If we don't get his boat sailing again soon, my business will be ruined. Your objective is the captain fucked up, figure it out.
Okay. I feel like there's a little bit more going on here with the Sega CD version in terms of like the captain problem.
Yeah, the captain problem spirals out into an old hag problem, which spirals out into a lighthouse problem. We're full of problems.
Full of problems.
If you speak to the boat captain back in the PS1 version.
Yes, the captain, of course, why wouldn't he? He speaks like a pirate. He says, "Ahoy, mates! I'm the captain of the Hispaniola bound for Maribia. The sea is tossing so hard that I need me sea chart to navigate it, but I seem to have gambled it away. Arrgh, that scurvy dog, he won't be so lucky next time. I'll have a rematch or his head, I tell ya."
In my head, do you have this guy's voice playing like the pirate sea captain, not pirate, but just sea dog from The Simpsons, whatever his name is?
Yeah, yes, basically the stereotypical pirate.
Yes,
voice.
the only pirate
Shiver me
voice that I
timbers.
can summon, all that
Yes.
shit, fucking peg leg parrot.
Yeah. Noel wants to know if the sea chart is some kind of yummy fish. Ha ha ha. Luna says that it's a map of the oceans that sailors use to avoid hazards. After, he says, "Arr, son. Don't ask me why I don't have me own sea chart. Ask the dockmaster. Arr." By the way, the Hispaniola is an island between Cuba and Puerto Rico in the Greater Antilles of the Caribbean.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I've been to Key West.
Mm-hmm.
How do we feel about the captain that doesn't have a sea map on him so he can't travel as an objective?
It feels a little contrived.
Yeah, there's a little, just make some shit up.
Like, this is ultimately going to lead to us fighting a monster later, and like, it should have just been like, there's a fucking monster.
Yeah, just fucking one.
There's a monster.
What the fuck you doing?
Because the thing is that like the diversion that we're about to take has no meaning, in my opinion. Going to the hag house.
There has to be a hag.
There has to
What's
be a
an
hag,
adventure
but,
without
like,
negotiating with the hag?
That is true. It is built on the adventure, but it doesn't feel like it ties into the larger plot or world at all.
I think it was mandatory that all kids must be threatened to turn into a pot of stew.
Actually, you're probably right. Or put in an oven.
Like in Grimm Fairy Tale type thing.
When we speak to the dockmaster, he tells us that the captain was fooled into losing the chart by this motherfucker Brett.
Yeah, he said motherfucker. That's
Yes.
true.
The captain is the worst poker player in history. Quote, "The man's eyes twinkle with delight every time he gets two cards with pretty pictures on them. Now I have a port full of angry passengers, drunken sailors, and rotting cargo."
That's weird. I thought that was only in the Sega CD version. I guess I was
Lovely.
wrong.
He tells us that Brett is gloating at the bar. Nope, we have that.
In Sega CD, the captain has no pirate accent.
Oh, well, thanks, Victor. It helps me for him to have a pirate
I mean,
accent.
Victor did both of them, so I don't...
I know, he improved upon himself.
Okay, yeah. All right. Iterative work.
Yes. Should we go to the bar next?
Yeah, let's go back.
Confront Brett or Clyde. He reckons that we can talk about it if we gamble with him, about it being the sea chart. I reckon we will, and the gambling begins.
Can I back you up a little bit?
Yes.
If you go straight from the pirate up to Brett just says the same thing over and over. You have to talk to the sailor outside again and then talk to Brett.
You're right about that.
I thought I fucking soft-locked my game because I was going crazy when this didn't work.
I am also playing the Silver Star touchy mode.
Touching stars.
Yes, touch and star, and I got stuck at that part.
Oh, because
yesterday
you wanted to bypass it?
because I forgot to. Because I'm speed running through that game just to see what's out
You
there.
try to harmonize the Silver Star harmony.
Yes, I got far enough to find out that Nash does not say "check this out" in that game. He just says "Thunder Blast" or something.
So we can't have a pure check this out sample?
No.
Makes sense. Different voice actors.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry for that diversion.
Anyway, you reckon we will?
I reckon we will. Just flip a fucking coin. Why are we flipping coins?
Because that's how you gamble, Chris. Heads or tails. It's the most simplified. There's no fucking triangle strategy or any of that shit.
I thought we were going to play darts or poker or blackjack or something.
No, you can somebody get hurt playing darts.
It's true. But I have a sword. I call heads, but sorry, son, it's tails.
No, you call tails. Tails can't lose.
Okay, well, we do another, and I pick heads again, and it loses.
I reckon that's what they call gambling.
Yep, but Brett says, "Dag nab your luck, son. It's tails. I win again, sonny boy."
Did you notice Ramus gets the angry face portrait for the first time in this game?
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Ramus pulls Alex aside and asks if Alex really looked at the coin Brett is using. Ramus says that he keeps switching the coin after the toss. Noel is unsure if we should be accusing this ruthless guy of cheating, but Ramus assures Noel, if anyone knows anything about money, it's me. He suggests that we give it one more try.
Does Ramus know shit about money?
No, he doesn't have shit. That's the whole point of us selling the Dragon Diamond is because he needs money. He wants money, but I guess he knows about
He's
money.
got a pocket full of bananas and fucking pretzels. I don't want to win no more of your allowances. It just ain't right. Yes,
Okay.
Chris, it's a double negative. It's very confusing.
Okay, I thought it was a typo.
Ramus wants to make it more interesting this time. He tells us he wants to bet the Dragon Diamond. My next note is, Ramus, know what the fuck are you doing?
Noel can't believe this shit.
We didn't come all this way to Saith to lose the diamond on a coin flip, you asshole. You asshole was editorialized. Brett's into it. Holy goddess Althena, I reckon that's the prettiest rock I ever seen. You got yourself a bet, son.
You got yourself a bet, son.
You got yourself a bet, son.
Remus moves toward Brett, and Brett backs away, which to me is like an excellent, intimidation tactic on Remus's part.
Yes.
Slams that rock down on him. It's unclear what's happening, so Null tells us. Remus's plan was to beat up Brett, sheer genius. Actually, that's pretty funny, because Null is... You know what Null is analogous to in this whole scenario? What's sidekick in a video game?
Sidekick in a video game.
Your favorite Otzel?
Otzel Pashul?
No. Daxter.
I don't know.
Daxter is an Otzel. Everyone knows Daxter is an Otzel from
I
Jack
thought maybe
and
that
Dax.
was some sort of big, pink, fluffy dog. That's why I said
Pashul, fuck off, dude.
Choo-choo.
Brett demands Remus put down that coin, boy. Remus asks Brett, so why do I notice this coin has 2 heads? Null calls it like he sees it. Brett, you're nothing but a lying, cheating weasel. Cheating weasel was also used on PSP. Remus, the master of coin, tells us, I knew the coin was fake when I heard it hit the table. A real coin makes a deeper clink. Brett is now remorseful. He says, oh dear, I've been caught by a child. If news of this were true, I'd be ruined. You naughty, beastly boy. Chris, they deleted Beastly Boys from the Harmony version. Clyde just says he's lost his edge. Beastly Boys, too hot for TV.
Yes.
We get the Dragon Diamond, and I get 200S back.
It's not quite obvious, I think, when you're reading through this quickly, but after he loses, Brett drops his accent.
Remus laughs. I see your accent was as fraudulent as your coins. Don't you know that you can't con a con man? And Chris, I ask you, is Remus a con man, or are his interests in commerce and adventure sincere?
I think they're using con man in...
Fast talker?
More along the lines of they're just using it interchangeably with this guy is an entrepreneur or a businessman or a rise and grind motherfucker.
He's a founder.
Founder, what's that?
Oh, founder's a whole class of when I get advertisements on social media services, there's one where you can sign up to a service for $100 and talk to founders of various companies and ask their advice.
Oh, okay.
Talk to a founder.
Yeah, they're going to give you some vague advice.
Yeah, some vague advice about working hard and eating your vegetables.
Yes, listening to your mom, being nice to people. Shit like that.
Well, we have control. Talk to Brett again.
Yeah, Remus demands that Brett hand over the sea chart.
He also says game over in this video game.
Ooh. Brett says he doesn't have it. He begs Remus not to shove him again. He bruises quite easily. And he's a bleeder.
Squealer.
Mop it. Brett says that he never said he had it, but we had to gamble with him to talk about it. Null calls Brett a ninny, dumb poopy head.
That line is deleted from Harmony. They took it out.
Good.
Too hot for TV.
Good for them. Brett comes clean and says he traded the sea chart to an old woman in the forest, northwest of Saith. She gave him this.
What do we get?
The fortune cane.
Fuck yeah, that's what I wanted. What are you going to do with that?
I don't know. Brett says that perhaps the woman will trade it for this cane or something else.
Uh-oh. It's ominous.
Sex? Cats?
I think body parts.
Ooh.
Like to cook and eat.
Speak with him again. Null asks Brett why he gave us the cane. He says that he was hoping that us brats, you darling children, would keep our little secret.
Okay, so I think that means we're going to go to the world map and head up that forest in the northwest corner, or we could stay in Saith and talk to more NPCs.
Oh, okay. I didn't talk to more NPCs yet.
Oh, I did.
It changed already?
Yes. Anytime anything happens, most of it changes.
Okay. Well,
did something happen? Talk to everybody again. I'm taking an absurd number of notes in this fucking video.
I've only been doing it when I've got a new party member. Or a major thing happens. But I didn't consider this a thing that happened.
It's a comprehensive podcast. So, of course, I go back and talk to that dock sailor, and perhaps this is what they say later, too. I don't know. But this is what immediately would change. The dock worker, the Waldo motherfucker out there. What did you just say? You're able to beat Brett? That's fantastic. Who would have thought a bunch of kids were the best gamblers on the island?
I think he does say that later. Yeah.
Maul notices that Alex blushes. Bald guy, yellow and purple outfit. I can't believe the captain gambled away the sea chart. The word idiot springs to mind. Remus agrees he shouldn't have bet something so important. Null chimes in, like how you bet the Dragon Diamond. The guy continues, you'd think an experienced sailor like the captain would know which parts of the sea to avoid. I'm back into the boathouse. The old drunk guy, we can't hit the drunk thing on him because he's still drunk from last time.
Yeah.
Some arrogant boy asked me if I knew where to find the sea chart. I told him it was taken by an old hag. He left without so much as a thank you. So that's... Nash was asking about that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the one guy mentioned that the VIP from the Magic Guild was here earlier.
Yeah, that asshole. There's a lady in here and talks about how a wrinkled old woman asking about a sea chart. Does she enjoy causing trouble? She must have a heart of coal. Finally, the captain. Since I got no sea chart, me boots must stay firmly planted on the land, matey.
Matey.
All right, that's it.
Now, did you know, I didn't do this because I missed this, but I found this in the official strategy guide that if you go all the way back to Berg and go to Dine's Monument, Laike is there.
Wow, no, I didn't do that.
Yes, I'll read this from the guide. If you travel back to Berg after beating Brett and before trading with the old hag, you'll find Laike enjoying the view from Dine's Monument. Talk to the old dude and he declares that he knew Dragon Master Dine back in the day. Alex is no doubt seething with jealousy.
I love shit like this.
Yes.
Just random stuff at random times in video games that you can only, if you have either obsessive attention to detail, which clearly we don't have despite doing a podcast about it.
Yes.
Like how there's just stuff like this tucked away in games.
The screenshot here says, him speaking he says, ho, 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 Nal and Alex, it's good to see you again. And the caption says, yes, Alex, I remember how Dine and me used to play cribbage every other Tuesday.
What?
I don't know. It's like one of the fucking...
What's cribbage?
I don't know.
Is that with Free Cell and Minesweeper?
I don't know. It sounds like an old guy game.
Fake net, what's cribbage?
Initializing fake net.
Cribbage, or crib, is a card game, traditionally for 2 players, that involves playing and grouping cards in combinations which gain points.
So anyway, unfortunately we missed that.
Lake content denied.
Okay, Eric, so we're on our way to the Old Hag's Forest, but I think we should take a detour to the real net.
The ultimate old hag forest.
Yes.
Initializing real net.
John Doe says, Alex, ass out of the weird woods. It's a reference.
Ass out, you're right, I get it.
Dick out.
Dick out,
Yeah. Need says apparently hair transplants don't last.
I mean, I haven't researched it too clearly, but they actually transplant the follicle, right? They don't just like insert fucking carpet into your head.
Yes, it's a follicle.
Yeah.
Yes. John Doe says Brett beat Dine and Mel at gambling confirmed because he had a 5-year streak.
Well,
yes.
I don't think that people such as Noble as the 4 heroes would have gambled.
Oh, you got to get your hands dirty to be a 4 hero.
For Mel, maybe. Mel sounds like a real scoundrel. Dine is a paragon of virtue. He would never do such a thing.
Yes, you said scoundrel instead of scoundrel. And I love it.
I don't give a shit. Say it with confidence, it makes it true.
John Doe says we need more games to show Mike Hagar actually governing.
Actually, yeah, I would like that. Like a fucking city simulator, like or a Sim City I like with Mike Hagar fucking wearing the overalls outfit, trying to administer justice.
Yeah, all we've ever seen him doing is vigilantism and Saturday Night Slam mastering.
We need to play that. I love Saturday Night Slam Masters. What a fucking fun game.
We have a Super Nintendo right there.
Yeah, we don't have 4 people.
That's true. Can you play online?
I'm probably.
Yeah.
Get your X-Band modem, Chris. Can we hook that up?
Mel says, Kamari is my favorite. I wish I had a reason to use you party member.
Kamari was the party member that I resented the most. He was the enemy skill guy, right? The yellow, blue mage.
I think so.
I did everything with everyone in that game, but it was the most resentful with Kamari.
Yeah. Butt Salad says, living in the boonies is arguably the best thing for a child's brain. For an adult, it is pure pain.
I had cousins that grew up on the farm that I got married at that you were there. I mean, that was the 30-minute drive to town, and they went to so like driving that every morning was nuts.
Eric Van says, raise your kids to believe in the Butlerian jihad and destroy all thinking machines.
We're getting there. I think kids, I don't know, I think the slam against kids today is that the moment they get a phone, it's just glued to their left hand. But also that's like I don't know if you've looked at anybody driving a car, but they're always looking at phones now.
Yeah.
And those are ostensibly adults most of the time, so it's
upsetting.
It's pretty fucked. There's no going back. Unless they do the escape from LA thing where they get the EMP bomb that disables all electronics on the globe.
Mm-hmm. Eric Van says, Eric, you're always hungry because of the intestinal parasites from never washing your hands.
It's a possibility. The thing about food, though, is it's delicious, and eating more of it's cool.
Yeah.
I do wash my hands. That was just a bit.
Yes. Do not take anything we say seriously. Unless I'm using this.
I mean, well, no,
Unless
except for when you...
voice.
That voice.
Yes.
Like, when you pee, you just pee on your hands. It's a sterilization technique.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Joe Pizzi Foshizi says, hi, guys. Chris, have you ever thought about bringing your dad on the show for some funny stories about picking up games from rental stores for you?
You want to meet that dad?
My dad's not a very good storyteller.
No, my dad would have no memory of any of this.
Yeah,
that's a great
true.
idea, but
yes.
he would have no fucking memory.
Like if my dad was like a ho-ho-homan, and he was like a good speaker, and he had like the vibe for this, I would. But this is not. I'm not insulting my dad. He's just not. Like, he would not be. He would not. This would not be his jam.
When my dad talks to me about video games, he asks me the exact same question he asked me when I was 10 about every single game. Do you know what that question is?
Are you good at it?
Do you have cheat codes for this? And I think that's because I asked for a Game Genie for Christmas relentlessly. But I'll tell a story about the time we had Microsoft Flight Simulator, and my dad got behind a plane and like perfectly landed it and just knew how to do all the controls intuitively. Like it's
my dad was like, he would sit and watch, and like for games like Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2, actually, he would like make maps on paper for me.
Oh, fuck, dude, that's awesome.
And help navigate.
That is an excellent dad skill.
Yeah.
Son, my interest in cartography can finally be applied to your interests.
Yeah. That's my only memory of him. Like, he'd always be excited when something like, oh, hey, look, I got Castlevania 3. Here, play it. Like, that was the only time he engaged with it. He did play SimCity, the first SimCity. He played that, but that was about it.
I think the worst moment of my dad's life is when I asked him to play NFL Quarterback Club 97 with me.
Oh,
and he tried for a quarter and then gave up. Yeah. He didn't want none of the fucking Dan Marino Miami Dolphins.
My kid got mad at me the other day because I was beating him in Madden, and that never happens. Like, I usually
he never gets mad at you, or you never beat him?
I never beat him. I usually like just get fucking smoked.
Yeah.
Every time we play any kind of football game, because I don't really understand football as well as he does anymore.
Just bring out Blitz 99.
Go next time you see my kid, Avery. Just say, "Hey, name 7 football players," and he will just start fucking naming football players. He's become that kid.
I was asking your wife, at what age do children understand sarcasm? Because they were playing basketball when I drove up.
Yeah.
And I said, "Who's going to score a touchdown?" And then Avery just went, "He doesn't know what he's talking about." Rather than just, "I'm an idiot," which is fine. I don't care what they think I am.
I have had experiences with kids whose parents aren't sarcastic, don't like joke with them and make sarcastic comments to them.
Okay.
And they look at me like I'm fucking insane.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
When I
that's
say
good.
something like
I would like your children to believe I'm out of my mind. That's my primary goal.
I think that if he wasn't out there with his friends, he probably would have been more apt to like engage with your sarcasm.
But I'm old and uncool.
But since he's with his friends, probably not. Shy Guy 32 says, "I can't believe that Nash Suiko Gaiden is here." Yeah, we got 2 Nashes now in our periphery.
The Nashes have diverged and become Nash and Nash.
Yes. As we know, Nash, the best character in Suikoden, right? Scientifically. John Doe says, "We're fully playing by Lufia rules at this point." I don't know what that means.
I don't even play Lufia.
Every village has its own side quests, and those side quests are the main quest because the main story hasn't actually kicked in yet. Yeah, that is.
Sure.
A lot of RPGs kind of start that way. Dragon Quest kind of lives in that zone too. Some of them do.
Well, but Dragon Quest, the objective is in the title.
Oh, to quest for the dragon.
Right.
Yes. I love questing. The best word used in all of the Star Wars canon is questing. Because like that word is used in The Mandalorian a lot. He's like, "Hi, I'm questing."
Oh, I don't recognize that as canon.
You don't recognize The Mandalorian as canon?
Absolutely not.
You don't like Grogu?
No, Luke Skywalker, it looks very strange in that. It causes an upsetting feeling in the stomach, like when you're on a roller coaster.
Yeah, I guess so. 7A says, "How have 2 men older than me not ever heard of cribbage?" I don't know. I mean,
we are the men in this scenario?
Yes.
No, that's like, I don't remember this from the game. I don't have that note written down. That's the first time in my life I've heard that word.
7A says, "There's a giant coffee table-sized cribbage board in the room I'm in now."
This, I'm going to refer back to this many times. When you said that chaos was invented moments before anyone spoke his name,
yes.
Cribbage was invented 30 minutes before this pod.
Yes.
Like, this has just been ethered into this world. That's not even the right use of the word ether. Manifested.
So, I don't know if you know this, but like, you know how like, what's it called? Mahjong?
Mahjong. Yeah.
Is
every Yakuza game.
It's in every Yakuza game, but it's also increasingly popular amongst like older women.
Okay. No, that tracks.
Cribbage, I think.
Old women.
I think cribbage is the old man equivalent of that.
I couldn't tell you if it's played with a fucking card or a hockey puck.
Cal-El posted a picture of the cribbage board.
Is it foosball?
No.
Is it just like something we call foosball? Is it air hockey?
No, it's
Is it Street Fighter 3?
It's a board game of some. Not a board game, but it's a game with a board.
Great. There's lots of those. I don't got to play that one. I mean, I suppose it's possible to go through your entire life and never hear of Hungry Hungry Hippos, but we both hit that lottery with cribbage.
Yes. Mel plays Mahjong at fighting game locals.
I bet that exists there.
Yeah.
I mean, the moment that I heard competitive Catherine was going on at fighting game locals, I was like, okay, anything's possible.
Yeah, it's like
whatever you want to do.
It's like they're playing Melty Blood, Catherine, and Mahjong in the hallway out there.
And for some reason, someone made Battle Garaga 3-player, okay?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes. If you go down the hall, take a left, you can play Gundam Battle Assault 2.
I have to agree.
It's a PS1 fighting game with Gundams. Well, RealNet, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you on the next episode of Retrograde Amnesia. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia recorded on October 23rd, 2024. Thank you, Mark, for the intro music.
Joke's on you. I didn't even play that. I asked AI to do it in a prompt, even though there weren't AI tools yet. Think about it, the government.
And thank you, Steph, for the podcast artwork.
Thank you to Super Caro Gaming for the Silver Star Harmony footage and Nintendo Complete for the Sega CD footage. We learned a lot.
You can email us, podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com, or find us on Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, and more. Patreon.com/retroam. Eric, until next time.
Yes, we will kill the Magic Emperor.
And now, you may go back to sleep. Like that for me, that's like when JFK got shot.
Oh, you knew where you were the night of the Malice in the Palace?
Yeah, because
I was on Fark.
I was playing Ragnarok Online, of course, with our buddy Josh, and he was in the other room. This was at our apartment, and we were playing, and then he just hollers. He goes, Ben Wallace just took this guy out, and then I was like, what? Because we used to always watch the Pistons back then, and
the fuck did you? Never mind.
The 2004 Pistons were a very...
Yeah, but why would you always watch the Pistons? How did that happen? Nobody did that.
Because I liked the 2004 Pistons, and so I kept following them after that.
Tayshaun Prince fan over here.
No, Chauncey Billups fan.
Yeah, okay.
I basically watched the Pistons until they traded Chauncey Billups because they fucked up. And then I switched to, in 2K, I switched to the Nuggets because I like Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey, yeah, Chris likes players who beat women up. Go ahead.
I don't think Chauncey Billups beat women up. Recently? I mean, not that it's ever okay.
He was hired as a coach, right? I think
he was on TV for a while. That's
there was a discussion after he was hired as a coach that he shouldn't be doing that because he may have done a violence.
Here it is. The details behind sexual assault allegation against Chauncey Billups. He was accused of rape in 1997. Okay, well, I don't like Chauncey. I mean, all right. I don't know. I'm not going to read
the allegations had not surfaced at that point.
Yes. Yeah. My toe was fucked for about a week.
Was it?
And at one point during the race, I somehow scooped up a small stick that was about 7 inches long.
Flipped it up and got in the shoe.
Flipped it up and then kicked it down in my shoe. I'm glad you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've done it a million times.
Yeah, I've tried to describe this to other people, and no one knows what I'm talking about. But I know that happened during the race, but I do not remember which foot it happened on. So that could have been the problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's fine now. I tested it out last night and I was fine.
This information will not help you now, but Speed 3s run a half size too small. So most people order half size up.
I feel like I have plenty of toe room in mine.
This shit happens. Well, that's great, Chris. When is your next half marathon?
Next year, probably.
All right. 2025.
I'm not going to do another one this year, am I?
Okay, I'm doing one in 9 days. You want to come?
That's in 9 days? She says, oh, yes, Alex, she'd make a charm. If you walk out there when you leave, look at the ping pong balls that are all over the floor. They have numbers written on them.
That's good.
And
they're playing lottery systems? They throwing dice? What are they doing?
No, I think they were like doing trick shots into buckets or something.
Okay, they weren't gambling. They were doing trick shots. I get it.
Yes. The other day I told my kid, I was like, we were leaving the park and I was like, if you hit a shot from the free throw line, I'll give you $5.
Oh, wow. And he said, fuck you, Dad, give me 25.
And a third grader has a hard time shooting a shot from the free throw line.
Yeah, they fucking suck at basketball, dude.
And my man goes out there and just fucking splashes it.
Nice. Splash means it goes in? I'm not familiar with the lingo today.
Yes.
Splash.
Yeah, you're not familiar with the Splash Brothers?
I mean, I understand that applies to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, but I don't understand that.
Because when the ball goes in, splash.
There's no fucking water in basketball. You can't fool me.
I know, but it goes to the net so purely that it looks like
You're thinking of water polo.
Then Null says, Null, you're getting drunk just smelling that stuff.
Null says his own name?
No, Luna says that. Did I say it wrong?
You said Null says Null.
Okay.
That'd be even more fucked. That means he would be drunk.
Law. Forest law.
LOL.
Forest law.
Nash tells us he's a third rank at Magic. Did I write?
He's good at Magic the Gathering. Been on, I forgot what it's called.
A boat.
Whatever. I was gonna make a joke about Reddit day traders. It's
out of my element.
It's there, right? Like we're gonna go short sale the GameStop and the AMC. Nothing.
No. We no. Yeah, we got to cut this. I'm sorry, I can't opt into your analogy.
Okay, we'll opt into the outtakes then. We speak with Brett again, who doesn't want to win no more. Doesn't want to hear.
You know the bar.
Why do you gotta throw Skullmaker in there?
I just want to throw another random racist in. All right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I have that later.
Okay. A picture. Let me listen to it one more time.
Yeah.
I'll cut this, but...
Oh, he's drunk.
I'm very drunk indeed.
Oh, God. I watched the first 15 minutes of that Gundam Netflix show.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It's made in Unreal 5.
Is that good? Isn't The Mandalorian made in Unreal 5? Like, what are we... That's fine, right?
I don't know what the Mandalorian is made in. I mean, it has actual actors, though. Like, physical components to it. This is all CG. I don't know. I thought the first opening scene was directed well from an action standpoint. Hideo Kojima commented on it on his Twitter on the internet, you know.
He comments on everything that exists.
Yes,
but,
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was fun. I haven't watched that much of it. Or find us on you. Hello, RealNet. Nice to see you again. Let's see what you have to say to me on this podcast. And Eric, of course.
And the fake net, you can't. It's 3 of us here.
Yeah, that's true. I've had a rematch on Orca's
I'll have a rematch Orca's head.
Oh.
All right, well, we'll see if you're right.
When I went to go buy this new fitness watch, I was like, well, it's not a Rolex, so I can afford it. Right?
Hell yeah. Plus, Rolexes don't give you your fucking heart rate with a 3-second delay. There's a bonus house on Sega CD. No? What do we got?
My heart rate just hit 69.
Fuck yeah, dude. 69. Oh, I stay in 69, son.
Oh, okay.
Gives me power. It's not true. You want to talk about this boathouse on Sega CD real quick? It's much different.
Oh, hold on. Did we already talk about the guy at the counter yet? Or do you want to do that?
The dockmaster?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk to him, and I'll redo the other part.
Yeah, speak again. This feller will say that we're all his brothers. Wait. If we speak with him...
I think he's the first person to, like, die in one of those games in, like, 6 games. A lot of people, it's like with Batman rules where you just beat them within an inch of their life, but they're fine in 20 minutes.
There's some more people that die in that game.
I'm going to say, like, Cosmic Kiryu, like, doesn't kill people, famously.
Yes.
Of course not. He can't do that. It's moral virtue.
Even when he has a rocket launcher. Yeah. Uh-huh.
He calls her a tough old... I wrote down back. That can't be white.
Bag?
Back. I wrote B-A-C-K. Back. Fuck me.
Hack? Speaking... Okay, like a... Oh, shit.
Fight!